The marching arts are all about the performers, their passion, their dedication, and their artistry. I'm Steve McCarrick, and on this episode of On a Water Break, I'm excited to speak with Abel Trujillo, a snare drummer performing this winter with one of the most artistic percussion ensembles in the world, Broken City. Abel, welcome to the show.
Hey, man, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. Been excited to talk to more folks from California, being that I'm an East Coast guy myself. But the way we kick these off every week, we start with something called Your Life Story in 32 Counts. Uh, just gives a quick little bit of time to run through and tell us where you've marched, where you're marching, and anything else you've been up to. You ready to give it a go?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Yeah, so basically, a quick little background is I'm from a city out here in Southern California called San Bernardino, um, in the region of the Inland Empire. I've been doing the drumline. I started in middle school in seventh grade, and then up now into my second year of Broken City. Um, I just got contracted for Crown, so pretty excited. Um, yeah, that's all I had.
Yeah, no, that's cool, man.
Yeah,
I
yeah, I
actually
got you, man.
I
Yeah,
aged out with Crown back in 2019, so I'm it's cool to hear someone else getting back at it. Right out the gate, something I wanted to
yeah,
get to
man.
hear a little about. The very first time I saw a Broken City video, I saw you guys play like that roll shot in your snare feature. Is that as hard as it looks? Tell me a bit about that.
Oh yeah, I can recall, when we first looked at the sheet music for that, all of us looked at each other like, "What is Mike thinking?" You know what I'm saying? And
Uh-huh.
yeah. So, but you know how Mike is with his music. He's very like he likes to take risk in his music. Um,
Yeah.
he's a vision, and he allowed him to life. So at first it was difficult, but now we're getting the hang of it, so it's not too bad. I would say,
Right. And like speaking that same way when you first
yeah,
see the music, I'm sure there's a lot of different things that jump out there. Like to me, when I watched your show, I feel like it's just so musically and visually exposed. Like all these different, just kind of cold hard entrances. Um,
oh yeah,
can you speak to maybe what it's been like trying to clean what's like clearly a really difficult program?
we really have to rely on Dutch and perfect unified timing within that snare line, so that way that we all sound as one line and not different difference. So that in itself is a skill. Um, yeah, that's pretty,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can for sure see it. I respect it because a lot of time with like all these props on the floor, I know it in my age out show, you could hide a lot of the actual time, but you guys are always exposed. So I could be off base a little bit. As I watched your show, I was getting this vibe that's about like a bit of a conflict around individuality and sort of becoming the person you want to be, or could you tell us a little bit about sort of the themes of your show, what kind of points you guys are trying to make?
yeah. So as you probably know, the name of our show is called Self, and basically when Mike explained it to us. First of all, Mike likes to have very emotional shows to
Hmm.
where he lets the audience feel what they want to feel. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
And basically, when Mike was trying to, what he was trying to interact with us members is allowing yourself to grow as an individual person. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Yeah.
You could start one way, on the bad side of things, and then you go through this journey of whatever it takes to get to the other side, that good side, to become a better positive person, and that kind of thing. And that's kind of what I take from the show. I think within the music and how it's written, I think is orchestrated properly.
Yeah, no, I can totally feel that. And I feel like as a performer, that's like a type of theme that I could embody and like relate to because we all experience those type of things. And that's probably why your
Yeah,
performance, or not just yours, but the ensemble of like performance every year is so authentic because these are like really human shows in a way.
yeah. I was just gonna say that. this show being very member driven, um, all of us have to perform it our own way for to sell it to the audience. One thing I try to go by when I'm performing is if the audience doesn't feel nothing, then you're not doing it right.
Right. Yeah. I like that as like a good litmus
And I
test.
think that's something that I learned at Broken City, which I'm very grateful for, and makes me see, what we do and marching arts in a different way. So
Right.
yeah.
And that kind of gets towards like the last big idea I always want to figure out when I'm interviewing someone is like, what do you think makes your ensemble Broken City unique? Clearly, the way that you guys emote in the show and the way that the fans get to interpret what you're doing, that's clearly something pretty unique to how Broken City does it. But in your opinion, what makes the ensemble unique?
I could touch on a few things.
Hmm. Go ahead.
I'm a type of guy who likes to give props and kudos to everything involved in something. So, first and team of Broken City, um, like everybody just really works together to give the members the best experience, to have things slide smooth and as stress free as possible. And I noticed that, so that's my number one thing. Props to staff and admin there; they really work hard.
Hmm.
As far as on the ensemble, what makes it unique is I feel Broken City is one of those groups that all of its shows are super emotional.
Yeah.
We have shows where the battery is playing this crazy chunk with so many notes. The pit's right there with them, and then they end with a loud bang, right? And we all love those shows. But then with Broken City, it's more like emotional, and yeah, we have our moments, but it's I would say the uniqueness comes on the audience side. Like I said, like just allowing the audience to feel some type of emotion, like feel something on a personal level, rather than just watching a casual drumline show. So I think that's a big uh, um, advantage of being unique.
Yeah, man. And I think you can totally feel that as a spectator when you watch Broken City. You can feel that there's something different in how they're connecting with the audience. There's something different all the way just fundamentally down to how Mike and everyone else is designing the show. They're not like trying to do the same thing that everyone else is doing. It's like a really cool set of things that you guys got going on out there.
Hey everyone, I'm Jackie Brown, and this week on A Water Break, we get a big history lesson with Peggy Twiggs. I am talking today to Ann Fields. She is a very good friend of Peggy Twiggs, but you've known Peggy for a really long time. So how long have you known Peggy?
I figured it out, about 55 years.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, she was about 15 years old, Peggy and I. And it's funny, we share birthdays practically. Hers is May 4th and mine's May 5th. But as she likes to remind me, I was born in the 40s and she was born in the 50s. So
we'll also find out what made Nicole say.
And then 20 years later, it's just like, well, literally half the world is doing this.
And why Thom said...
Oh gosh, you know what? I hope not. I didn't really like first grade. Some of those kids were just horrible back then.
All this and more on this week's episode of On a Water Break.
Let's go. Set it up.
Top of the show.
Form, check form. Cover down.
Hey everyone, it's Tim Hinton, the beast of the marching arts, here from the Marching Roundtable podcast. I got to tell you, this week's podcast, I think you'll really enjoy it. It's called Trusting Your Gut in the Creative Process. Jessica Slaybaugh talks with Zachary Barber, and they do it in the context of creating a winter guard show, but it's all about kind of figuring out if things are going well when you're putting your show together, when to know when to pivot, maybe make some changes. I think you'll enjoy that conversation. Next week, on Monday, April 10th, Matt James is here as part of our series on 3 things I wish I'd known when I first started teaching. Matt James, of course, was the director of bands at Lawrence Central High School and had those wonderful shows and wonderful bands for so many years. I'm sure that you'll be interested in hearing what he has to say, advice for you as you're doing your own teaching, especially if maybe you're early in your career. And then the week after, on Monday, April 17th, well, I gotta tell you, you can't always have a great podcast. I had a hard time finding a guest, so I'm going to be talking with this group from this new podcast called On a Water Break. And, you know, it may not be our best episode ever, but I think you'll enjoy hearing from some of the hosts. They seem to have thousands of them, but anyway, some of the hosts are on that to talk about how they put the podcast together and the lessons they've learned as they've started the process. So make a note, April 17th, a group from On the Water Break. And enjoy the podcast we have out now. And remember, you can find over 1,100 podcasts at our website at marchingroundtable.com. Hope that you'll go and listen and learn.
Hey, this is Christine Ream.
And Chris Green.
Guard Closet was founded as a consignment business in 2000. Since then, it has grown to include winter guard, band, percussion, and other genres.
We can help you with custom flag and costuming designs.
Our consignment inventory has plenty of great looks for your color guard, drumline, and marching band.
Pay it forward. When you purchase consignment, you help other programs. Last year, we sold over 400 sets of consignments and returned over $125,000 in payments to our consigners for their sales.
Additionally, Guard Closet offers custom and pre-designed costumes, flags, floors, and formal wear, full or partial show writing, educational programming, and other services.
Max out your rehearsal time and set up a microsite for easy student ordering for shoes, gloves, and other equipment.
The Guard Closet team is here to help you get everything you want and need for your season. Check us out at guardcloset.com and follow us on social media.
So each week when we do this bit, we like to play a little game. It's called March, Teach, Cut. If you were to march in any show ever, which show would it be?
Ooh, that's kind of equivalent to saying like one of my favorite shows ish. I would think of it. I'm a big fan of Matrix 2013. I don't know if you're familiar with-
Covered. That's such a good show, man.
Yeah, that one. Just that one in itself, there was so much going on, and I remember first watching that one. I was just mind blown. I think I was probably like 9th grade, even 8th grade.
Yeah,
you know,
me
so like,
too.
so like still new to the game, but so I think that's a show that got me excited for my own future. Another one I would say RCC 2009. Totem.
Ooh, okay, yeah. That's a good one. That's like it set the stage. It kind of changed a lot of what people were doing in the activity.
Absolutely, yeah, and just a lot going musically, visually, you know, from a design perspective. So a lot of respect for those kind of shows. So I would say those. What were the next two? Sorry.
Yeah. The next question we ask, I feel like it's the same type of idea. It's along the lines of your favorite, but if you could teach or you could design any show ever, what would it be? I feel like that's a slightly different like set of what you like it for, you know?
Teach. I would say we could talk drum corps too, also, right?
Sure, yeah, you could go with the drum corps show too.
Yeah, very big fan of Blue Coats 2018.
Okay.
That show, Blue Nights 2015.
Word.
And then probably like a younger, probably like an older one in Phantom of I think in 2011, where I had my.
Was Rennick still there then?
I'm not sure, but I know
Okay.
I had my instructor there when I started, and he marched Phantom in the quad line of 2011, and that show, I think that was like the first intro that I got to drum corps shows,
Right.
and then the rest is just kind of history.
Yeah, I had a similar situation with my guy that ran my high school program was from Cadets 2013, and he had like just gotten off tour, and then he came back, and they had just gotten a drum trophy, and that like just kind of set me on the path. But
Yeah,
if you were to cut a show from existence, what show would it be?
if I were to cut a show, I don't really want to say cut a show. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, no.
I'm not one to deny anyone's efforts to, putting in their hard work to perform a show.
Absolutely.
show. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to stick with that answer there.
No, I respect that. When I think back, I
Yeah.
usually just tend to think of like some of my worst moments back in high school. We could just clean the slate on that one and I'd be fine. But
Oh yeah, yeah.
if you so I guess then maybe a good next question. What's like your favorite video that our listeners could find of you performing? Could be drum corps, could be indoor, just what's your favorite video you're a part of?
Mm, there's one, probably our finals lot in 2022 Broken City last year.
Hmm.
Um, I I would say that's my favorite just because of the amount of hype that was around that lot. You know,
Yeah, man.
it was my first time on a big stage like that. At least that big because I went straight from high school straight to Broken City. You know, so that's a
Whoa.
pretty jump in. Yeah,
Yeah, man.
yeah,
I'd
yeah.
agree.
So
That's pretty crazy.
yeah, that's a pretty big jump from attention, from hype, from everybody screaming and all that. So I had to hang on, you know, on a fast train there. But
Yeah.
I got to say, probably that one, and then the one for this year where we're in Temecula.
Okay,
That
cool.
one, yeah, probably those two.
All right, I'll have to go check that out. I think I've definitely seen the 22 vid. I'm not sure if I've seen the Temecula vid, but yeah, I know what you mean, man. It's crazy WGI finals night in the top 5 in the lot. It's
Oh
like
yeah,
you can't put your blinders on. You just got to deal with it. There's no way to tune it
yeah,
out. But
yeah. I mean, I can recall I was drumming and flashes which is going on left and right, and
mhm.
I'm not really used to that kind of thing, but I had to, you know, keep my composure there. And, you know, I was hyped too. So, you know, I was
Yeah.
enjoying my moment with all my people just drumming something, you know, just
Mhm.
getting our last log going and just having fun with people who later become friends.
Yeah, absolutely. And you feed off that adrenaline. Everyone's feeding off the adrenaline. I'll be sure to
Yeah.
come check it out when you're doing it this year again. In a couple weeks here. I'll come find your lot, come say what's up, man. But until then, what's your social media? That way our listeners could follow you, could see whatever you post or something like that.
Yeah, man. It's just my name, Abel Trujillo. But my the Trujillo has two U's instead of one, so it's not that hard to find, I would say.
Cool.
But yeah, I'm there on Instagram and yeah, give a follow if you'd like.
Hell yeah, man. I hope people reach out. Hopefully they give you a follow no matter what. I'm sure we're all gonna see you in a couple weeks at Dayton. But thanks for hopping on. Good luck with the rest of your season. I'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good, brother. Thank you for having me. Take care.
Well, that's it. That's all we got. I, for one, had a great time talking to Abel. I thought it was super cool to hear about how the product comes together over at Broken City. Uh, just knowing that that's one of my favorite ensembles, and it's got to be one of your favorite ensembles as well. Coming out across the next 2 weeks or so, we're going to have a bunch more color guard performer spotlights uploaded right here, alongside 2 more percussion spotlights yet to come as well. I'm looking forward to getting them out to you, and looking forward to seeing hopefully many of your faces at WGI Finals 2 weeks from when I'm recording this. But that wraps it up for today. Get back to rehearsal, keep chopping out, and I'll see you in Dayton.